Hey, friends. Thanks for joining today. I didn't publicize this very much. As I mentioned in the chat, the reason I'm going live today is because the doors for the 2025 version of the How to Build Abundance in Cryptocurrency course opened 2 days ago. And they're going to close on May 22nd, which is Bitcoin Pizza Day. If you're not sure what Bitcoin Pizza Day is, I have like a 4-minute video about it on my channel if you feel like watching. Basically, it's the anniversary of a day 15 years ago when a guy who lived in Florida, I believe, spent 10,000 Bitcoin to get, I think, 2 pizzas delivered to his house. So 10,000 Bitcoin is worth a lot of money now. So it's like celebrated as this like silly holiday or something. Hi, Paul. Nice to see you. So yeah, I was gonna keep this short and sweet, as I said. Um, it's difficult, I feel like, to translate a lot of what's going on into words. I'm struggling with that. But essentially, I guess I thought we could talk about the moment we're in right now, historically, and we'll talk about the course, the value to you personally if you decide to join it, and then just the societal value of seeds. It's just, I'll start with this. Okay. I was looking earlier at an article in the New York Times that came out today. Is this working now? Can you hear me, Paul? It says it's working on my end. Please let me know if it's still. not working for you? Yeah, on my side, it looks like it's fine. I guess I'll just continue. But yeah, let me know if there's still audio problems. Okay, cool. Great. Yeah. So I feel like I'm in a weird position and I haven't known how to best speak about this because there's complexity and then there's just such a dominant mainstream narrative about cryptocurrency being terrible and it's like squarely associated with Trump and like crypto bros. So that should be an opportunity for seeds, I think, and that there's this polarity so that this message hopefully can be more heard. But it's been frustrating to say the least for years now. And as many of y'all know, if you're watching this video later, there might be people that check out the recording as well. Um, I've offered this course on an annual basis live, a single time per year for the past several years. So what we just kicked off with doors closing May 22nd is going to be the 2025 version. Let's take a look at what's going on in the Bitcoin markets right now. So since Trump stopped, I guess, walked back these ridiculous tariffs that don't make any sense, the market has started to rebound. And it's really called attention to the fact that maybe we shouldn't have a global financial system that can be so completely like suppressed by a single person in a 30-day span of time or whatever it was. Since that's been walked back, the thing about that that's a gift is that, of course, Paul knows this. Whenever the market is down, if you still believe in the overall idea behind what led you to trade a cryptocurrency in the first place, those are the best opportunities to buy. So the silver lining in all of this, I shouldn't use the phrase silver lining because I think Trump's role is to show how stupid all of this is and how much it's not working, I think, and to make that really obvious to a lot of people. So it's more than a silver lining. I think, the ultimate outcome is going to be positive. But because he did that and because prices were so suppressed, we had that opportunity to buy much more cheaply just a few short weeks ago. And now it's starting to come back up. What's been significant and different than it's been in the last like two cryptocurrency market cycles, so that takes us back to 2017 or so, is that Bitcoin is now sort of like the more reliable investment in the sense that, in the sense that it's just been more profitable. If we look at Ether, the number two cryptocurrency by market capitalization, it got hit harder and it hasn't rebounded to the same extent that Bitcoin has. And like I said, the last time I did a live like a month ago, that to me says that it's really oversold, which means that in my view, the price is a lot lower than it should be given these market conditions. So it still looks like a great opportunity to buy to me. I'm a big believer in Ether anyway, but I actually did buy some Bitcoin recently, which I haven't done in, man, probably like 8 years or something, like a long time, because I was more excited and through my research and intuition, I believe that other cryptocurrencies were going to be more profitable, and they were in that time period. But because Bitcoin has become so institutionalized and it's so supported by the traditional financial system at this point, it's like it held that price up despite what Trump was doing. It was still obviously when the price went down, we can see that on the graph here, but it was more robust than other cryptocurrencies were because of that institutional support. So that's something to keep in mind. And it just shows how, again, like one person, the American president, is changing these patterns. And it's just, that's not a good system, shouldn't permit that to happen to this extent, is what I would argue. Pulse agreed. I hope the same. Tantrums. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what to say about the moment we're in per se, but I wanted to say something about. I think we've turned a corner with the tariffs. I can't imagine that he's going to keep doing something like that. I dislike that so much time and energy is going into trying to predict what he's going to do. It's pretty unpredictable. You can't often tell what a narcissist is going to do because they're just guided by supplying their narcissistic source. But what we do know now, which is important, and like when I've taught these courses in the past, I've typically tried to time them in a specific way because obviously if the prices are lower and people are joining the course when the prices are lower, that's going to be of more advantage to them over time, right? If prices continue to go up as they've been known to do and as I believe is going to keep happening over time. But the trick of it is that, especially for people that aren't experienced traders, is that when it looks less certain when prices are down, that means they're going to be less likely to pull the trigger. So then a lot of times people don't end up getting involved until the market is going up a lot. And that's a huge bummer, especially if the people involved are nice, the kind of nice giving people that Seeds is about connecting with, because then they miss out. So we're kind of at a significant juncture here because the tariffs are no longer influencing the prices in the same way, and it doesn't look like he can't keep applying additional tariffs forever. So that weird anomaly and its impact on the market, I based on what I know right now, it doesn't look to me like it's going to continue to be an influence. So this could be like a good time to get in to and then to expect sort of like more near-term increases, because the normal cycle should be doing what it typically does, which is that, as Paul knows, in the past, whenever we've had a Bitcoin halving, the most recent Bitcoin halving was April 20th of last year, the fourth one in total. That's kicked off the market cycles, and then we've typically seen all-time highs in Bitcoin 12 to 18 months later. So now we're over 12 months past the most recent Bitcoin halving. And if we look at this graph, we can see that the max price was 104,669 in January of this year, right? So right now, we're not so far off the all-time high in Bitcoin. And if it starts breaking its highs again, there's going to be more press and it's going to end up, drawing in more people from the mainstream so that they're getting involved, and that will drive the price up higher. With each market cycle, what we found is that, like more people learn about cryptocurrency, they hear about it, they think like, oh, I kind of knew about this years ago, I should probably get involved, I know it's going up a lot now. And as more people who weren't involved start buying in, of course, that's what drives the prices up. So yeah, this seems to be, again, based on what I know right now, and I'll need to modify my opinion if I learn something new that alters it. This looks okay. It looks like, I was trying to catch Bitcoin. What did I get in at? We can see here. If we look at my trade history, can you see this? So I bought in at 83, 183.75. If we look at the graph here, that was around this area. So that's not too bad. It would have been great if I could have caught it at 76 something, but around 83 is where this price floor was at. And we can see this here. This graph is terrible. It should be easier to view than it is. But yeah, if we check this out, there's a concept called price floors, which I know Paul is familiar with. Typically, whenever we're seeing the price of a cryptocurrency or anything that we're trading on a centralized market bouncing off of the same price level for a period of time, that means that sort of like with every bounce, it's establishing a stronger price floor. And so if we look at this, it was within that sort of range, a little bit lower, but yeah, maybe more like 81, like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4-ish times here, and it dropped off even more so here. This was off of more tariff news. There's something in my eye. So I'm okay with that price. I wish I could have gotten a better deal, but that's not so bad. And now it's at 96,640. So we'll see if it's going to break new all-time highs here shortly. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it does, because it's just expected to, and that's how markets work. If a bunch of people think it's going to do something, it does it. It's just a bunch of people moving the thing around like this giant Ouija board. So, in terms of the societal value and this moment in history and what's going on in the markets, what I've been trying to communicate for years now is just, this idea that, and I think Trump is really shining a light on this, that the way things are working is no longer functional. It's not relatable to most people. And Trump is really shining a light on that. I think that's actually his role. And Elon Musk has been too, which I think seems especially appropriate because he's the richest person in the world. So he's been the biggest beneficiary in that sense of the design of the old system. And we can see how he's not doing a great job at anything he's working on, I would argue. All that said, the shift is going to happen, and I think it is happening behind the scenes, the the scenes. And unfortunately, publications like the New York Times, the quote unquote mainstream news, aren't covering this sort of thing. They won't cover it until it has more momentum behind it, I think. But things I think are shifting, and I think seeds is going to play a huge role in that. And as a lot of y'all know, the course sustains seeds so that we're able, as I mentioned earlier, to make sure that 100% of the value of gifts that come through the seeds ecosystem go to folks in need. At a certain point, it'll no longer be necessary to do that once the seeds market is robust enough that it can sustain the project without the need for the course. But I also think it's kind of fun. I like doing it and I like trading. So I enjoy teaching it. So yeah, my intention is to keep that up for the foreseeable future. To state this, you can see this on this page, but yeah, like I said, it's effectively free because you get seeds when you sign up and when you make your successful payments. There's a monthly payment plan as well as the option to pay up front. If you're not able to afford either option, you're always welcome to redeem a seed to ask for help to get the funds to take the course if you want to do that instead. You can find links to everything on the seed site. Not everything, but you'll find links to the seeds website in the description if you're watching this video as a recording. You can find more information about the schedule itself in our FAQ as well if you're interested in that. I think I won't go into that here. It seems like not terribly necessary. But I guess I should also share that at this stage of the game, I mean, I started teaching a version of this course in 2019. And even online courses weren't so much of a thing at that time either. And now there's almost like a glut of online courses, so much so that I've questioned is it the right idea to keep doing this? But I know that it provides value. And I know that there's, in my experience so far, I haven't found anyone else like myself who has the experience that I have as, like a former professional Wall Street trader who started buying Bitcoin in 2013 when it was $90 a coin. I know how to trade, but I also I know how to trade, I should say, within the traditional markets. I also know how to use decentralized tools. And there have been some huge benefits in terms of free money, frankly, in the world of decentralization in the last several years. And on top of that, through seeds, we're using these tools to redesign the economic system so that it's actually supporting people instead of trying to push us into being like units of production to enrich oligarchs in too many cases. We need to completely redesign that system. I think it's perhaps the biggest waste of human potential at this time in history. Like, and I think it's invisible to a lot of us because school conditions us to just grow up and quote unquote get a good job, whatever. It's typically going to be an established corporation. Our parents want us to do that. If you graduate from a good college, quote unquote good college, and get a job at Google, there's status associated with that. And I think that needs to change. The entire system should not be about us becoming economic units to then make a corporation richer. It's not good for anybody. It's not even good for the people who are benefiting the most monetarily from that setup because so many of them aren't happy either. So Seeds is about sustaining us so that we can receive the support and the resourcing that we need to come to do the healing that we need to do to get really clear on what we're uniquely here to offer to this world. And then also to have the support to be able to bring that thing to life. And I think that's the type of design that society in the future is going to have to have. I think that's where we're heading. So we're at this kind of inflection point. The course is available to sustain Seeds, of course, to offer you value so that you know how to navigate the existing markets. Because that's the other piece of this. Like, while I'm envisioning this better world and the role that Seeds will play in this better world, I'm also aware of the existing realities. And I want to share the knowledge that I have so that good, giving people have the tools necessary to navigate the existing realities while also getting in a good position so that you're benefiting from the new systems that I believe are going to come to the fore. And I think Seeds is going to be a significant part of that. So that's what the course is down to do. As mentioned, the doors close May 22nd. If you're a past student, as Paul is, you're welcome to join at no cost. If you join, you have, not only is it free because you get the Seeds, but you then can join any future live course that I offer at no additional cost, which can be, I think, super helpful because things change. Things can change very quickly in the world of cryptocurrency. And I make sure to do my best to adapt the course on a yearly basis to try and meet whatever is going on in the sector at that time and whatever's going on more broadly in the world as well. So, yeah. So that's that. If you're watching this recording, if you weren't able to make it live, you can check out like the stream section, the live section on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing several lives similar to this, but I'll kind of play it by ear to see what seems to be the best topic to discuss in a given live. But I'm going to do several leading up to when doors close on May 22nd for the course. And if this resonates, I really hope you'll join us. It'd be really fun to have you. Paul's going to join again. Awesome. Thanks. That'll be fun. It's fun. I really enjoy doing it, like I said. And it's just like fun. Like the thing, maybe you've heard me say this before, but when I used to be like a pro stock trader, it was so fun to just talk with your friends who were also traders about what was going on in the markets. And I really miss that. And we get to do a version of that in the course. So it's almost like if you ever played team sports or something like that, it has a bit of that sense of camaraderie. And also trading kind of keeps you honest in the way that sports can do because your performance is just visible externally, you know? And yeah, you have to be able to reflect on how you're performing and be humble about it and to make adjustments when necessary. Actually, I know for sure that at least one of the trading firms that I worked at professionally, they would try and hire like good athlete, like college level athletes because they saw this correlation between like playing sport and being good at trading. So anyway, I'm really happy that we get to do the course so that like we can kind of simulate that where we're hanging out together and making trades together and having fun in that way because I miss it because it was really fun to do. All right, that's all I have for today. Yeah, thanks for joining, Paul. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say, but if you feel like joining further lives, please come hang out. I'm going to be doing the next one on Saturday, so 2 days from today. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you later. Bye.